So guys, right, making a average golfer or turning an average ball striker into a solid ball striker. We're going to be looking at a couple of major moves here in the swing, but we're going to be keeping it really simple so that you guys can get down to the driving range and apply it through some feels and practice swings and just get on the path to swinging better and hitting better shots. Now, we've seen a lot of the modern day players these days with huge bowed wrists and different grips and unbelievably flexible bodies. We're not going in that direction. We're going to be looking more at the traditional styles, the Nicklaus's, the Hogans, looking at, McIlroy's, these style, the normal type of release patterns. I'm going to talk to you about the release here through the ball to free up your release a little bit. There's a lot of people with sort of wooden styled releases, cutting it, not getting any flow, not getting any power, and not getting that freewheeling type of action. I've got a couple of great drills here. We'll talk about those first before we have a look at a couple of other things in this video. And then at the end of the video, we'll take a look at a little bit of evidence-based material to back it up so that we've got that trust, all right? Now, what are we seeing through the golf ball when the club's around parallel to the ground here? We're seeing these three fingers of the lead hand or the left hand or the top hand here. And you're seeing really through the ball, you're always going to be seeing some release, right? You can see this club head sort of moving up through the lead forearm. You can sort of see that it's releasing here. It's also going into extension. And this is the part I want to show you guys. A lot of people not understanding what this lead wrist is doing. They're really trying to keep it sort of flat and like this, but it's going to move in extension. It's not flipping it because we need to be able to square the club up. Otherwise, we're going to run into a wall here and hit that squeezy, half shanky thing down the right that everyone's trying. How many times have we been seeing people working on lag and angles and really not getting anywhere with it? And it's because of the other side. They don't have, it's one motion. It matches, it belongs, this side belongs to this side. All right, so whatever if you're bringing something in here, you've got to be able to release it and match it up. And this end of this grip is as basic as this sounds. You won't be able to do it at the start. Getting this grip, almost like a McIlroy, Oosthuizen, getting the end of this grip to point towards the target in your finish position really frees up your golf swing. Let's have a look at this now as we move through the ball. You can start yourself in this position when you're getting that 12 o'clock position with the club face here, the lead wrist moving slightly into extension. You can start from this position, work your way back, get some feel of that, and it continues on, and what you're trying to get to is really that the grip will point towards your target, and that'll get a bit more flow into your release. There's really millions of people not getting this part right in the swing. So you can get the grip to point towards the target, and that really, what your hands do, your body will tend to follow a lot of the time. I know that everyone says, the body really leads and does everything, but it's not true. Really, if your hands are wooden, your body's going to be falling back and all things like that. So that part of the swing, I just recommend heaps of practice swings, getting it to release and getting the end of the grip up into here. Now guys, looking at creating lag and angles, get a stronger grip if you haven't played junior golf. That way you can get more movement and play out of this joint. The face is going to stay in a more aggressive position, and that'll encourage you to get some shaft length. The other thing we're looking at here is club face control, and when that club face moves back nicely in the takeaway, a little bit of connection, you're sort of always practicing keeping that at 1 o'clock. That's a good place. Now really, when we know that the swing moves straight back and then around and then straight down and around. For a lot of us though, swinging from between 6 to 7 and out to 12 to 1, really to think that keeps people on the correct line. It's not for everybody, but if you tend to cut it a bit, get that grip in, go between 6 to 7 and out to 12 to 1, that'll put you in a good place. The last thing I want to talk to you about is the right knee and what that does and where it should be. And what we're looking at doing, if I can get a line up over the golf ball, we're trying to get this right knee to the finish line before the hands come. And this is going to get your knees working towards the target and not really working from this position here, right? So we get the knees moving towards the target, we get the club releasing. You can practice that simply by bringing that knee in and thinking that, and then getting up into a finish, and you have that grip pointing here. Knee to the target, releasing the club, grip to here. And guys, if you get your takeaways right, you start to really move with these basic thoughts. Really, they have a wonderful effect, a complicated effect on your swing, and we can pick one of these thoughts, not more, one of these thoughts for the golf course, because on the golf course we're playing golf, we're not playing golf swings, and the dominating thought needs to be the ball, and whatever swing thought you're using, just one of them that works back in the background. Guys, let's now have a look at a couple of these positions just quickly to back it up. Get out on the range and practice. Have a look at worldclassgolf.com, and if you're after online lessons, check out craighansongolf.com, helping people from all around the world. So everyone, right, let's have a look here at some of the major moves and some of the most important moves in the golf swing. We see the takeaway moving away, and we're keeping the right hand pointed down. Almost at this stage, if you look back at your glove, you wouldn't see the logo all that well. You can see that face pointing down. You see the sole of the club's pointed up towards 1 o'clock. Now what that does, when we're seeing this motion, getting your wrist alignments, it's just such a massively important thing in the golf swing. Your hands and your wrists, really so important. Just a lot of people talking about the body, but your hands and wrists. Now when you're bringing this club down and it gets parallel to the ground here, we'll be seeing, you know, this sole of this club just slightly on this side of 12. How do you do it? You film it with your mobile phone, you put it on slow motion. So we'll show you on worldclassgolf.com. I'll show you how to set up your phones, really easy to do, and with the V1 app there, wow, you're moving in the right direction. Now moving through the golf ball, let's pop a line up here. We've spoken about this in recent videos. You're getting the knees to work effectively, and I'll just get a line up here, illustrating a finish line here, and we'll just touch on what we've just seen. See the right knee coming to the finish line before the hands do. And a lot of the time you can really measure this line here and see, you know, if it's into the 80 degrees or 70 degrees. Recommended under 70 is the place to be. Through the golf ball, you know, we're going to be seeing the slight rotation and the lead hand moving into extension. As you see that there, you can see those fingers here. Now, one of the feels I want you guys to get, I'll show you an example of a club golfer in just in a second, is when that lead wrist moves back into extension, you're really sort of trying to get that grip to sort of point up before it gets too far behind your head. Right, this will get some play and some freedom, wonderful balance, and get the club moving in the correct fashion. Let's have a quick look at McIlroy as we see him. Same thing, we'll pop up a line here over the golf ball here, and we'll see the right knee winning the race. All right, see that? So you can, as I said, you can measure these positions. Might sound technical, but if you're getting inside some of the averages of movement, you're going to hit it better. We see the release, right? We see those fingers here of the glove hand, and then to the finish position, that lead wrist, like Oosthuizen, they're moving that up into a finish where the grip is starting to point up. Now, looking at, obviously, club players, they're struggling with that. And I guarantee you, let's have a look at this.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied to helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
When we look at this action here, we're going to see, we'll pop up a line up over the golf ball. And we're seeing really a collision course here as we're coming down. So we're seeing right leg, the hands win the race. Right, so the hips are really not moving, the right leg's not moving. And that's when we can really start to get no rotation. We get a collision, the shoulders lift up. And as we get to the top, I can guarantee you, most of you, I pretty much guarantee you're going to be in that position here, where it's stiff, where it's wooden. And really by working on these things, and remember, as I said, getting the club to come in slightly from between 6 to 7 and feel like it's moving out that way. It won't, but just to hit the ball a little on the inside and to encourage the knee, to encourage this club face, really sort of basic thoughts, but just have a wonderful effect on your entire motion. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's helping you moving into the right direction. Online lessons, craighansongolf.com, worldclassgolf.com. We've got 60 separate series. We've got over 1,000 videos. More and more people joining, and more videos are being continuously released into worldclassgolf.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.